bringing that into the team, that actually helped the girls. And not only that, the second one was that, you know, he checked the under 20 and look at the girls that performed so well. Assistant, we knew she was already with the Super Falcons, but not as frequently as precisely as she was. But precisely those two, he brought them in and he went to check Rivers Angels. Of course, we have, no matter what anybody is going to say about that, Rivers Angels, we still have the best players from that in Nigerian Women's League, the best players from that club. Angels. He went and picked them. So you now have about 6 foreign-based players making up the 21 girls that went to the tournament. That alone actually helped. I think what he did, being able to blend the youth, the experience, and of course the local-based players and the foreign-based players, bringing them together, playing against Boris, no matter everybody is going to say. And of course, at the end of the day, they went there. They did something really, really cool.
Let's talk about the reward now, because immediately after the game on Sunday, the news came out that President Goodluck Jonathan have lost count of how many trophies he's had to receive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Football trophies. I mean, we're losing count already.
Yeah.
That President Goodluck Jonathan will be receiving the girls on Wednesday. So let's come to that. Let's talk about that very briefly. Okay. What presidential rewards should we expect? There's going to be a presidential reception on Wednesday. What are you expecting from the girls? You have been close to the girls. You've been speaking with them on phone and you saw them today. What are they expecting from Mr. President?
Well, I think, remember what Desiree Akparanuzi actually said. She said it's not just all about recognition. It's not just all about the money, the motivation. That the fact that if they can grow our league the way you have in other parts of the world. Now, if you take a look at the American team, the USA team and all that, they have a very viable league. Having that viable league have actually helped the players. So most of them actually talked about adequate preparations, and most of them also talked about the fact that if you really want to help the girls, give them all the support necessary. That's really what they said they wanted. Whatever support it is, I really can't tell. But some people are actually saying that, look, these girls happens to be our role model. The best way to do it, see if you can have their billboards everywhere in Abuja for people to actually celebrate them. That's just what they want.
We didn't have billboard for the Eagles when we won Nations Cup, did we?
Well, we usually have this kind of parade.
For the girls.
We didn't have.
But
you can start from there. The Spirit Girls, they have commercial deals and all that, endorsement and
not the same for the girls.
But not the same for the girls. The girls don't have that. Now, we're not talking about commercial deals or something like that here. We're talking about you just
rewarding them. Just put their billboards up.
That is it, because most people don't even know them. I will tell you, most Nigerians don't know Asisat Oshola. Most Nigerians don't know Desiree Akparanuzi. They know Perpetua because she has been there for a very long time. Francis, somebody can't even differentiate between Francisca Odega and Desiree Akparanuzi because they really don't know them. It's only when you're close to them you get to meet some of them. So if they can really do that for them, and also see how you can just better the league. That's just one thing. See how you can better the league and have an academy, you know, for young girls who really want to play football. Asisa told me something that her parents never wanted her to play football. All they wanted her to do was to be a lawyer. But she insisted that she wants to play football, and that was how she was able to play.
I'm going to come back to you, Yemi, to ask your thought, but I'm told that we need to go on a short break. When we return from that break, I'm going to be asking Yemi as well about the future of the league, the women's league. What are the positives that we should pick out from this success in Namibia? As we reward the girls, we should also be looking at the structure and developing where these girls came from. We'll talk about all of that and more. But while we wait to go on that break, let me also tell you that please be active, be interactive with us. We want to hear from you. Talk to us. When we return from this break, we'll take a lot of your comments as we move on Sports Tonight. Join us again. All right, we were talking about the girls, and a lot of your comments are coming through. But before I read your comments, let me get the opinion of those sitting with me right here in the studios. Yemi, let me start with you. People have said these girls do not get anything close to what the guys are getting, and they're doing more. But I have my reservations because the men's game is on a different level, unless we don't want to tell ourselves the truth. And the amount of pressure and the amount of the intensity of the game is different. What are you expecting from Mr. President for these girls? Oshola has seen the president. I've lost count.
I think what I'm expecting and what will happen are two different things.
Okay.
Tomorrow,
what will be? Let me rephrase. What will be adequate financial compensation or reward for these girls?
even that as well. It's I don't know, it's really hard. I'll just go back to what I think should be done, because you can't put any monetary value on what those guys have been able to do, especially when you consider what they've had to go through to win this tournament. And they won the hearts of so many of us who thought they weren't going to be able to do it. We criticized them, demanded for a lot, in spite of not putting too much into them. But what I think should happen is, without repeating everything Cecilia has said, I think the league, give them a springboard so that our girls don't have to start going to, like the guys too, have to start going to obscure places. I think the problem basically is that we love doing things in the short term. We don't always think, what can I do now? I mean, look at these girls, okay, how about life after football? Build the structures. And that's the role of government anyway. Government should go back to, it's not about monetary value. What happens to you if you get 20 million naira, for instance, and armed robbers invade your house and take everything? I mean, things like that have happened in the past. So I'm hoping for a situation where the government will be able to put the structures. There will be a springboard for the girls so that they can be able to rise from that, you know.
Well, as we were speaking, this picture that we are seeing, the minister, the NFF president, and his vice, and some ministry and some officers of the sports ministry receiving the team earlier today at the Eco Hotels. They came back at about 4 a.m. this morning, and they were received by the NFF vice president Shiyaki Wumi and the NFF president Amaju Pinnick, and there was this reception that the sports minister had for them early this morning. Sisi, you were there. Tell us about it and what happened here. Promises made.
Yes.
And
as usual.
I was even going to ask you, what about reports? There are different kinds of reports are going out that these girls played all through and the allowances were not paid. And tell us about it. Okay, before we do that, let's just take another break. We'll come back and talk more about this on Sports Tonight. We sincerely apologize for that break. We needed to adjust a few things so that you can get us very clearly at home. We were getting signals that we're not sounding too clear, and I think it's a lot better now. I was going to come to it very quickly because we are running out of time, and we are not going to spend, no matter what these girls do, until they win the FIFA Women's World Cup. Okay. We won't devote 1 hour to talk about the girls. Seriously? But can they do it? Yeah, I think. Look at the quality of these girls. Yeah, I really can they do it? I really think they can. You know, Edwin Okon said something that really touched my heart. He said, when you watch the girls play, the kind of zeal, the kind of things they do, you'll be wondering if these are the girls you just pick, you know, from Rivers Angels, what they're doing. That all they need is just that early preparations. If they can really do that,